Hello, I'm Bracken, and today I want to talk about bats. Now, for a long time, bats have been called Minecraft's most useless mob and a forgotten feature. This has led some people to coming up with ways to improve and update it, including me. So in this video, I'm looking at what the bat is like at the moment, what ideas there are for improving it, and what the advantages and drawbacks of updating it might be. Before we can update the bat, we need to understand what it's like currently. Bats are small, passive flying creatures which only have 6 health points. They belong to the ambient mob group. In case you don't know, ambient mobs exist to add atmosphere and life to the environment, and not necessarily to have a use for the player. They spawn at light levels of 3 and below in caves in every biome apart from the deep dark. Depending on which version of Minecraft you use, they either appear in groups of 8 for Java Edition, or groups of 2 for Bedrock Edition. The bat has 2 states, which make up its behavior. In the first state, it will fly around aimlessly, unpredictably, and without any regard for nearby mobs or hazards. It will do this for about 20 seconds before switching to its second state. In this state, the bat will hang from the ceiling and do nothing. The only thing that wakes the bat up is if the player walks past it, damages it, or if the block it's hanging from is broken. In terms of player interactions, there's very little to say. The only way in which the bat reacts to the player is by being woken up by them, and the only way the player can interact with it is by waking it up or damaging it. It drops nothing when it dies, it has no achievements directly linked to it, it can't be fed, tamed, bred, it can't be put on a lead or in a boat, nothing. To summarize, bats live in dark caves, fly aimlessly around, and have next to no use for or interaction with the player. But what if the bat were different? What if it were updated? Some members of the community have come up with their own answers, so I've tried to collect these ideas and will now present to you my interpretation of what they were trying to achieve. One idea is to add more functionality to the bat by giving it more player interactions. Maybe you can feed it using a new item or one that currently has little use. By feeding a bat, you could tame it. A tame bat might be able to use its echo senses to locate nearby things, or maybe you just want a bat as a pet. Another suggestion is giving the bat different variants, each with their own appearance, behavior, and spawning requirements. There could be peaceful bats which live in woods and forests, or aggressive bats that dwell in deep, dark caverns and attack any player they find as a group. These are just 2 possibilities out of many. The final improvement thought of by other fans that I'll mention is adding a mob drop for the bat. This might be bat wings or fangs, and could be used in some kind of recipe. As stated previously, I've also thought a lot about the bat's design, and I've come up with my own concept for how it could be improved. If I could update the bat, I would prioritize changing its spawning, its behavior, and its non-player interactions. Firstly, the bat would be able to spawn above ground in certain biomes, being the dark oak forest, swamp, tundra, and snowy peaks. For behavior, the main change I think should be made is making bats search for darkly lit areas and avoid brightly lit areas if possible. This ensures that bats should only be seen above ground at night, as during the day they'll hide in a shadowy place. This will make them more similar to their real-life counterparts, as in real life bats are nocturnal. It will also stop them from flying into lava anymore. This new mechanic also gives the bat an indirect use for smart and observant players, who could use this feature to find unexplored or unlit areas in the cave system they're in. The smaller change I'd implement is letting bats have a good chance of waking up during nighttime. Again, bats being nocturnal creatures, they should be awake at night. The final change I'd want to see is having bats interact with the environment. I like how the bat adds life to its surroundings, but I think this effect will be greatly increased if it reacted to other parts of its environment as well. Maybe it's attracted to glowberries or firefly bushes, as if it's hunting or scavenging for food. Okay, so it turns out that bats actually avoid fireflies because they contain chemically toxic compounds, so the idea with the firefly bush might not work as well. Anyway, back to the video. This would make the bat add not only life but also cohesion to the Minecraft world, which I think is worth it for such a small change. Now that we know the different approaches to improving the bat, we can compare them and see what speaks for and against each one. The advantages of the tameable bat and the bat mob drop is that the player now has a reason to search for it, and therefore to remember it. The bat is no longer useless or forgotten. However, you lose a lot of what makes the bat different from other mobs. There's a risk that it becomes just another animal you tame, or just another mob you need to find to get some item. With the variants and with my idea, you keep the bat close to its original concept, whilst also making it more interesting. It's still similar enough that everyone who liked what it was like before the change isn't upset, but different enough that other players might still engage with it. The problem is that it's still very forgettable, and it might not be worth the time and effort for such a small difference. The answer for which suggestion is the best depends on how important you think it is that the bat stays close to its original self, and how important it is for the bat to be useful and remembered. You might have a different opinion to mine, so I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. In the making of this video, I used multiple videos as reference material. For the first part of the video, I used the Minecraft Bat Wiki, the video titled Everything About Bats in Minecraft, Easy Minecraft Mob Guide, made by JDMC, and the short form video titled What Do Bats Do in Minecraft, made by NautiliteZ. For the second part of the video, I used the comment section of the previously mentioned JDMC video and System Z's video titled I Made Minecraft Bats Actually Useful, to get a general idea of what could be changed about the bat according to the Minecraft community. If you found this topic interesting, I would highly recommend that you look at these references, in particular the last two. There's loads that's said there that I left out in this video. Also, remember that the second part of this video is my interpretation of those ideas, which could be very different to how you understand them, so they're definitely worth a watch. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I'd like to finish this video with an extra question for you to think about or discuss in the comments, so here it is. In Minecraft, the bat is the only ambient mob outside of the ocean, so do you think there should be more ambient mobs in the game? I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.